What's up, guys? Welcome to Just Kicking It, episode whatever, 59. We are here with another special guest. Tyler from SNKR BST.
Yes,
is that the only place to find it? Is that the only
It's vintage
tag?
BST too.
There was a bunch of them. It's mainly a SNKR Beast these days.
Just Instagram?
Nah, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all that. At
Perfect.
SNKR Beast, all platforms.
All the other ones, but it's all SNKR BST?
Yeah, SNKR BST.
Y'all know where to find them. Y'all
Yes,
know
sir.
where to find them. This was going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of been a long time coming because I feel like we've talked about it. And
Yeah.
like when we used to do our live videos, like actual live videos, like you were on there almost every time, and like it felt like we would
Tapped
bring
in,
you
yeah.
in most of the time, like
Yeah.
have
like,
a little
well-
conversation and then whatever. So like this will be the first time we actually like start
Sit
to
down
finish.
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now that it's a
start-
little official, we would
Yeah.
always just go live like,
Like, oh, hey,
We had,
wants
like,
to
4
join
different
in.
rooms,
Let's
yeah.
see what's going on. Yeah.
Right
Now we've got a
you're
nice little
already
studio.
gonna know what's going on.
yeah.
We're already here, presently.
Presently.
Thank you guys for having us, man. First
Yeah,
off,
of course, yeah.
Excited to be in your city this weekend, man. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up, man. Thank you.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Well, did you? You just brought those to wear. So I know we do have something to show.
Oh, funny enough, I've actually got a pair of those
Did-
in the
yeah?
car myself, and we were gonna do something this weekend with them. So
Perfect.
everybody can get a little sneak taste with us right
So
now.
before I pull them out, what's your opinion on them?
So you got to look at it on different levels. Would I wear them out in public? No. But are they actually kind of comfortable? Yeah, because it's like it's not solid.
It's not a
It's
solid
got the
piece,
little,
yeah.
the little cutout in it. So it's like your toes can flex. As far as like the comfort, I mean, it's something I'd like rock around the house. Like
Yeah, you wouldn't
maybe
wear it in
run to the
public?
Mailbox or some shit, but maybe like that'd be about the extent of it.
No,
Yeah,
I might wear them.
Couldn't be me.
I probably wouldn't wear them.
No,
No,
I haven't put them on my foot to be fair yet. So
Oh,
nah.
you need to.
Yeah.
You need to. Yeah. No, because once you actually get them on foot, it's one of those your opinion changes a little bit. Because you pull them out and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I might have
Yeah.
wasted $20.
Right.
But then it's like you get them on your foot and you're like, man, it's one of those like it needs some work, I think, before
Yeah.
like something like that would be popular.
Mhm.
But like, I mean, nobody thought the foam runners.
Let's pull
and
'em
the-
out.
I mean, think about all the stuff. Like 350s literally looked like alien shoes whenever they first come out.
Yeah.
Foam runners literally were from Mars. So it's like, I mean, Kanye's been right before. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like this one is a little bit too outlandish. Like literally, they
Now, you know what they look like for real? You know
What?
the Foot Clan from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies?
Yes, bro.
It looks like something they'd be rocking.
I think of it like a ninja shoe. I guess it's
Yeah.
some shit like I'd see somebody doing parkour wearing. You know
Parkour!
What I mean? Like,
The Foot Clan.
he said.
So
parkour.
I'm a fan of them because they were $20. You see all like these big designer brands, like you get the same shoe and you put Balenciaga on the back, it's a $2,000 retail shoe. For
easy.
what? So that's why I'm like, $20 is 20. Like I piss $20 off every day, twice a day at the gas station.
Fact.
So like, what's $20 if I just like get this and it just sits? So, and then I seen a video. Who was it? Someone's podcast. Joe Budden maybe, and he was saying the same thing with the bottom.
I've seen the same thing. He's like, man, he said this is game changer because
Yeah.
he's like, I can move my foot. Like,
With this being like the size that it is, I have a feeling that it still might not be big enough.
I said the same thing, and
Is
until
it?
I tried mine
Okay.
on, and I'm a true blue 13,
Yeah.
14 at some things. But no,
Okay.
you should be fine. You should be fine.
I feel like I would wear this in public, but it depends on like
He's gonna
with
wear it
what?
to the next listening party.
I would. I wouldn't wear this with shorts.
The
for
problem,
sure not.
yeah, the problem is that it looks like your grandpappy's old, dried up, crusty tube sock, and then they put some
Not the
some rubber on the bottom.
I think whenever you're actually looking at somebody and they've got them on feet, it looks like you've just got socks on. So it's like you almost have like
Yeah.
some explaining to do as to like where the fuck your shoes are. You know?
I mean, that would be pretty normal in Anderson.
That's true. I mean,
There's quite a bit of
surprised you
people that
didn't
just walk.
get
with fucking
welcomed by our
sign.
welcoming committee in Anderson. We have homeless at every street sign. Like if you go up to our main road up here by the casino, every single street light, including the one whenever you pull off the interstate.
Oh my
homeless
gosh,
person,
dude!
every single one.
And they're not even homeless
surprisingly-
here. They're homeless like from some other city or town.
Oh, they're
and they
just up
come
here
here.
hustling.
Yeah,
Literally,
and it's
they-
by the casino because so it makes sense.
Oh,
like,
facts. Yeah, everybody
like
got
the
their money.
homeless that are here. So if you go to Hamilton County, which is like the county right next to us, that's where Carmel is and Noblesville and all
Yeah.
that stuff, where like a lot of
money.
money and stuff is.
Like Westfield
They
is
will-
known to be the happiest place to live in the earth.
So they will pick up homeless people
Yeah.
and drop them off in Madison County and tell them don't come back,
Damn.
which is cool.
Yeah. Which is cool for who?
Well, it's cool if you don't think about it.
If you don't think about
I've
it.
heard kind of the same thing about like Monroe County, Bloomington. If you're
Oh, yeah.
familiar with that
Yeah.
area, it's like I guess they have a lot of resources there for those folks.
Yeah.
To where it's like they kind of, you know, I don't want to say just dump people off there, but more or less like say, hey, you might head down there because you maybe have a better chance of getting some of the resources
Yeah.
that you need.
And I really think that the people that come in here is just in that area because the casino. Like the casino's a casino. So
I
like,
mean, have you guys ever seen the video? Like, not to dive into that, but like, I mean, there was literally somebody who was panhandling, and it was like somebody filmed them, and they walked and got into like I want to say like a
Yeah.
Mercedes Benz or something like
happened
that,
here.
to where it's like they're out here legit hustling,
Yeah.
making more than you and I are.
Tax-free.
You know,
Yeah,
100%.
There was a person that used to do that. He used to drive a Cadillac, and they
Mm-hmm.
parked it at the Golden Corral that's like right next to the interstate. So they would just walk
Mm-hmm.
up the interstate. And
Yeah,
then-
just walk out there with their sign, get their old raggedy clothes on, and clock in. for the day.
100% I could never do that.
Yeah, no,
I thought about doing that and just having a sign that says I'm just here so no one else takes your money, and then just sit there so someone else can't just take y'all's money.
Post
like,
up.
yeah, why are you guys? Anyways,
Back
yeah,
to the- back-
$20 shoe, bro. We waste $230. I've wasted a lot of $230
they're sitting in
transactions.
your they're sitting in your closet right now.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people felt the same way because I'm pretty sure Kanye posted the day one sales whenever they did that. Everything's
Insane.
$20. Like 20, 30 million.
insane
Yeah,
for $20 socks, bro.
And it's one of those things. I think you said it earlier best. Like, what's the difference between this and somebody slapping Balenciaga
Yeah.
or whatever insert brand and charging 300, 500, whatever dollar amount that they want for it? I mean, like, give it to Kanye for standing on business and making everything $20.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I think everybody thought he was crazy, and I mean, there's complaints to have
Oh,
with it. Like
homies for
I've
sure
seen
is.
the fit, the fit of the shirts, the fit
Yeah.
of the shorts. Like, there's
Damn, I
been some
should've brought
complaints
the
about the
Vulture
stuff.
shirt
Don't
out.
get
I
me
have a
wrong,
shirt, too.
but like he stood on business and made it $20. Like,
And it's
the
no
thing is-
different than the designer brands. Like they're doing the same shit.
Yeah, like the thing is like the I have a long sleeve that's it says volume 1 on the sleeve, and then it has all the songs on the back, and then
Yeah.
like a picture on the front, and literally like the fit of it is huge, and like there's no cuffing on anything that's on the
No.
shirt. It's literally like slits with sewn up corners in it, and then I mean it is like it probably one of the most raggedy looking shirts that you can
Yeah.
buy. But you know what? It's $20, and the people that created that shirt were the same people that do Balenciaga and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
he used all the same materials that they did,
Manufacturers and
just
everything.
didn't charge
Didn't
the
charge out the
$100
ass for it.
and
Yeah.
$200 for the shirt.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about it.
Like when we went to the listing party in Chicago, like we saw T-shirts that were $20, and we're like, "What the hell is this dude doing?"
literally.
Yeah,
Although his pants
$100.
were $100 or $120 at the show, and then now they're $20. Like,
So it's like the people who paid 100 at the show probably feel like fools now.
Yeah.
And I know there was an issue where how much were they charging for these originally? It
Oh,
was
like
a
200.
lot. Yeah, it was something ridiculous. And then they had to go back and I think recredit the accounts or something like that. But I mean,
Shit. At that point, I would have just wanted you to send me 10 pairs of
hey,
these.
it definitely
Money's already
fits
out.
like Kanye's MO, erratic.
Oh yeah.
It like just erratic without
Yeah.
rhyme or reason. Just we're gonna do this.
And if
you know?
anybody actually truly pays attention to like Kanye and how he does stuff, a lot of his designs are from ancient slavery times. So that's where he gets a lot of his like thought process
Imagery
behind his
and
shoes
kind
and
of some
stuff.
of the stuff.
Like if dead ass, if you guys like look into it, like the 350s, what's that ugly one that has shark looks like teeth? The 451s, like there's a wall in like a museum of
The bone,
old
the
slave
skeleton
shoe.
jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, is he wrong for
they're
it?
comfortable.
I mean, I guess it's everyone's opinion, but
I
Hey,
used to-
Tyler from Sneaker Beast. Will you do me a favor and just be conscious to speak directly into your microphone?
Got
at all
you.
times?
Sorry, man.
Thanks, brother.
We have that problem.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Oh, yeah. You know what? Hey, brother. So this is the first time I've met you. I would love to hear where
Nice to
your
meet you.
story began. Like, what is the origin story behind Sneaker Beast?
Love that question.
The
Solid.
origin starts in a factory in Shelbyville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Okay, so I leave a job, I get another job, as folks do.
Yeah.
Folks change jobs. I met my partner Matt. Some of you guys who are familiar with us know Matt.
Yeah.
A lot of he kind of runs the front end a lot. Doesn't really do anything on camera. Is kind of shy. So we met, started working together at this job, and we had saw that there was a void like in Louisville, Kentucky, where we're from, which is like 15 minutes or 20 minutes down the road from Shelbyville. Where we were at. And what we found was nobody were doing these events. So, like, it was one of those deals. We kind of would pass each other in the hallway at work and be like, oh, we got to do something. We got to get something going.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we did that for 2 or 3 months, you know. And then one night I was just at home and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually going to, like, Google this. And, like, I kind of sit there and I made a list. I was like, well, what does it take to, like, make an event?
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, I didn't know anything about anything at this point in time. And we come to find that as we started doing events and making mistakes and just, you know, the learning curve, like with anything. And we just kind of listed out like tables, chairs, you know, a place to do it. And eventually, like, I got to looking into it and we found a place that was kind of within our budget at that point in time of what we felt comfortable tying up. And
Yeah.
I finally told him, I was like, hey, man, I looked into this and I showed him the numbers and I said, hey, like, we could actually do this. Like, I know we've talked about it, but like we could actually get it going. And we finally decided, okay, we're going to proceed with it. I mean, I think it was maybe $500 or $600, like for
Yeah.
the first one. You know, it wasn't like we spent a whole bunch of money, but for someone, you know, think about someone just taking $600 and doing some shit with
Yeah.
it. Like in today's society, I mean, they say, you know, a
Have
lot of
fun.
households can't even absorb a $500 bill, you
Right.
know, unexpectedly, let alone just to throw something at it like that, kind of blind with, you know, no expectations. So, I mean, we kind of put our money where our mouth was and did our first show. And I mean, it was awful. It was buns, if I'm being honest. Like,
I mean, what was your first one?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like when we did our first one.
I'm fucking jealous, dude. That's so cheap.
Yeah.
Oh my
when we did our first one,
gosh.
ours was probably 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
more than that.
Oh, wow.
For our first show.
Yeah. Like over $4,000.
Yeah. But
Dang.
Yeah.
But in the $4,000, that was, I mean, we had a really nice venue. We had to rent tables and chairs. We had to, I mean, literally anything that could have possibly, we had to rent it. Oh, I broke a chandelier while we were there, so that was added into our cost. Too.
Oh, wow.
I'm
I'm sure that wasn't cheap.
I mean, no, not really. I was trying to move a table, and when I did, like, I lifted it over my head, and like I didn't realize the legs were up on it, and it clipped the chandelier and broke it. So
funny story, not
That
to
was
cut you
awesome.
guys off, in terms of you kind of just brought it up as far as making mistakes and breaking things and just like the learning curve.
Yeah.
So it was our first or second event. We were renting tables. I want to say the venue like had a few tables, but they didn't have all that we needed, so we had to go rent a few. And we just had a couple pickup trucks, you know, it's kind of good old boy in it, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And Matt, we're driving down the road and we're making a left-hand turn across a pretty big intersection, probably 2 or 3 lanes of traffic that we have to go across to get, you know, to where we're going. Matt, I guess, takes this corner too fast. He's in front of me, I'm behind him. And literally a table flies out as he's rolling. He's hitting this turn like he ain't got tables in the back of his truck.
Yeah.
40, 45 miles an hour, just whipping this thing. Table flies out, and I'm talking, if you guys are cars, it slides perfectly just right in front of y'all, doesn't hit you, doesn't scratch you, right over off to the side of the road. And I'm thinking we would have been done. Me and Matt just talked about it last week. Sneaker Beast would have been over before it even got started at that point. But if we would have, I mean, think about that. Like, literally, we could have,
Damn.
I mean, we could have killed somebody.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
literally anything could have happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we were trying to be
Right.
negligent. It just was a matter of, you know, table slipped out,
Yeah.
you know. But, I mean, yeah, that brought back instant memories once you said something about that. I was
I
like,
like
man,
hearing
I
shit
could
like that.
definitely relate. It's not all peaches and cream like people think.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. People just see like
our first event
certain things.
was so hectic because
Oh.
when we set up our first event, they said, okay, you can come in the day before, get everything set up and ready to go. So we were there at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, ready to go and
Yeah.
get this thing going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And literally inside of where we were at was they called it a selfie museum. Okay, where like people would pay money and they would go to like different spots and take pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all
Brilliant.
that shit was still in the building whenever we were supposed to be setting up our event. So
And we weren't even supposed to set up tables either. We just did that because we wanted it a certain way.
Yeah,
You just did it because you wanted to kind of know that
We
it was
wanted to
done
make
and it
sure-
was locked in.
Yeah.
First event, no hitches, no
we had
issues.
like 50 tables, I think, like at that point in time, like in the day. We had like 40 or 50 tables. We wanted to see how many tables we could fit, how many extra we could get, because you always sell some that night, that day,
Yeah.
whatever. So we were setting it up, and literally we were there from 2:00 in the afternoon till like 10:30 that night because we had to help them tear down that entire event.
Oh.
And then we set up
no.
our entire event with never doing it before, so it took us forever to move tables and
And
move
if we
tables
woulda
and move
never
tables and
helped,
move tables.
They were pretty much just running on their own time. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, so the shit would have been just a wreck in the morning, and then
yeah.
you would have been really hemmed up.
Yeah, it would have. It was.
We probably, I mean, again, it would have been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
The day of, like, we usually get there. If we let people in the door, we try to get there at like 10 o'clock. We try to get there like 8.
Yeah,
just to-
same. Yeah.
Just to like make sure, double check, like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna put tablecloths here.
Exactly.
We're gonna do this here.
Get the
like,
speaker set up, just like the knick-knack stuff.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
just
small shit.
whatever. Get drawers ready for people that are coming in. There's
Yeah.
always a couple people early, anyways. So,
Oh, yeah.
just kind of get everything ready. If we would have done that, we would have been screwed because they were still mopping the floor whenever we walked in.
Bro.
We didn't have that bad, but it was our first Cincy event. We had it's on me. I had a table delivery scheduled for that morning.
Oh,
So, and I mean, it was one of those deals. Like I told the guy the situation, I paid extra to have time secured delivery. Bro, this is the first time I think anybody's really known about this, but the tables I think got there at like 9:45. If you are familiar with us, we open at 9:30.
Yeah.
So you see the issue that we had. And it was one of those
Shit.
deals where like we were renting like 70 tables.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, and I think the venue maybe had like the other 30. It was a 100-table show, so it was like, it wasn't something you could just throw together in 15
quick.
minutes. I mean, I will say, like, our team, man, props out to them because they busted their butts. And we got we
Damn.
put up 70 tables in literally like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To where, because I was like, man, if this goes any further, like, we're going to have some splaining to do. It's about ready to be
Right.
Ricky Ricardo up.
Yeah, and it's tough because like, what the fuck can you do about it?
Oh no, I mean, yeah, it's like at the same point in time, I accept responsibility.
Yeah.
That's the thing with running an event.
Oh,
even
yeah.
if something, like, even if you didn't do it, you're kind of responsible.
Yeah.
Right. Like, or people are gonna come to you and be like, "Hey, what can you do for me?" And a lot of times it'll be like,
yeah.
it'll literally be like their fault.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, "Hey, bro, like I didn't check this shoe before I bought it, and it's bad or something." You know what I mean? Where it's like, but you literally said you didn't even open the box,
Yeah.
bro.
And then they still
Like-
try to put it on you.
Well,
Like-
it's,
like
they,
one of
I
the
guess
things-
my fault.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say that literally exact thing happened at our first event.
Yeah.
So somebody said that was a fake. Blah blah blah. Took the shoe. We double checked the shoe. The shoe was good. I don't know what that.
Oh, it was Jordan 14, and like the insole was like a different insole than normal.
Yeah, like they had rep
Insoles, yeah.
in
So
a
it didn't
14,
pass
right?
a check.
And the
'cause it
lady
wasn't
bought
the right
them.
sole.
The lady bought them, then comes back an hour, like 30
Yeah.
minutes later, and comes back and tries to get a refund from this dude for them not being what they were or whatever. And then she comes and starts bickering with us, and we're like, "No, your shoe's fine, like whatever."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "This is bad business on both you guys, blah blah blah." And we go,
I ain't never
We
gonna
looked at
come
it.
back to compiled kicks.
Hey, we looked at her and we looked at the guy and we go, okay, how much was the shoe? They said, oh, well, we paid $110. Okay, here's $110.
Literally.
Okay,
Here, I'm gonna pay
here's
you
your
$110 to
shoe-
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Here's your shoe back. Okay, we told the guy, don't put the shoe back on the table. You do whatever you want to do with the $110. Let's just keep it moving. Like, let's get it out of the way because like this is really not this big a deal. Like you're making.
Oh
You're
yeah,
making-
molehills in the mountains.
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I fucking love these backstories that no one ever fucking hears about.
Oh,
Here's
like the
another
horror
great
stories.
one. Not very many people know because I think we handled it very well and quick. Was it our first one when someone pulled a gun out?
That was our first
Oh
event.
my god!
Someone pulled a gun out. And
Talk
like,
about the stuff of nightmares
Yeah,
for me.
and-
Like that'll wake me up in the middle of the night. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Oh,
it's
somebody
horrible.
shot
Well,
up.
so this dude, I don't know how it happened, but this guy bought a shoe off this dude and it was fake. But they both ended up at our event. So he was like, "Hey, I have this shoe. People are telling me it's fake. I want my money back." So then all that happened. Dude ended up leaving.
Trying to like redo a deal that happened outside of your event.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
It's like we're handling it here now.
Exactly.
Type
So
shit.
I go outside to go confront the guy. I'm like, "Hey, bro, like, just give him his money back, and we'll be all right." Well, he pulls out this fucking big ass gun with a drum. I'm
oh
like,
my god.
like, what are you gonna do with that, brother? You're just trying to scare people. Well, then he cocked that bitch back. I'm like, nah. We walk back, and we have what, 2 or 3 security guards?
We had 3 security guards.
We all had. I had my gun on me too. I was like, bro,
There
you're
was-
not.
there
You're,
was- I had
you're
my
not
gun,
leaving
He
here.
had his gun, and there were the 3 security guards.
All armed, yeah.
Called him.
so-
I was like, bro, you're gonna be like 50 Cent, but you're not gonna be alive.
was
Like,
that at the mall?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the mall,
Yes.
That was
I
our-
will say, bro, like shout out to that mall because I've never seen
They're
like
closed.
I've been to SneakerCon and they're not been that stringent of security as far as checking
Yes.
for weapons and stuff. And like I'm somebody I conceal carry all the time,
All the
so
time.
yeah.
you know it's one of those like I don't even think I took my gun in that day because it was one of those like it wasn't no like oh
No.
yeah
It
you're
wasn't worth
good
it.
kind
It
of.
wasn't
He
deal.
wouldn't even. They wouldn't even let Torin bring in his little switch.
That's one of them. They're
blade.
talking to you and you
My
run the show. You
multi-tool.
know what I mean?
Yeah, his multi. Wouldn't even let him bring
My
in his
fucking
multi.
multi-tool. They
Man.
make me leave it in the car.
They
every
made the
time.
man put up the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
Bruh.
for sure.
For real.
It was good though. But yeah, I
It's
mean,
got a file on
they
it.
ended up taking care of it. Some other dude was crying about he bought a shoe off this dude, and it didn't come with a lid, like a Jordan 1. And I was like, okay, what are you crying about? He's like, well, I want $10. So I handed him $10. Like, stop crying.
Literally. I mean,
Like,
we
what
had
the fuck are we doing here?
we didn't. I mean, thankfully, I mean, I'll say this about like the guys that come out to our shows.
Yeah.
Man, 99.99% of them are some of the best people I've ever met on this
Yeah.
earth. Honestly,
Yes,
great
absolutely.
dudes. I mean, honestly, I look forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not in terms of just like, oh man, let's get them in here and get this business, but it's like I want to go chop it up with them
Yeah.
and see how they've been. And,
That's the
and
nice
see
thing
what's
about
up,
sneakers,
you know?
bro. It's you find some. I mean, you can find some questionable characters too,
I
but
really-
there's a lot of genuine people.
Oh, facts.
I feel like with our event, like I want to talk to every person that's there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot. But I feel like I'm running around like a chicken with my damn head cut off like 90% of
Absolutely.
the time.
You don't have a choice most of the time.
Like there are times that Torrin's like, "Hey man, we really need to go and take this picture with the raffle winner." And like if it doesn't happen as the raffle is being called, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not called as the person wins the trophy for best on foot or best table, it's probably not going to happen because like we're trying to put fires out all over the place. You know
And
what
that's
I mean?
the thing, and it's like some of them are just they shouldn't be fires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and then it's one of those like, I mean, everybody wants to talk to you, you know, and it's like if somebody's getting ready to leave, oh, well, let's holler at him before
Yep.
we go. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And by the time you have, you know, if you've got 100 vendors, you have at least 100 to 200 conversations, depending on how many people there are there.
Yep.
Then you got to think there's just going to be people, and you know, we travel a lot to
Yeah.
where it's like
yeah.
we've got people that I could tell you by name in each city. Okay, this cat, this cat, this cat, this cat are all pulling up. Same for all
Guaranteed.
the other towns, and
Yeah.
it's like they all are going to want to chat and
Yeah.
you know bullshit for 10 minutes because it's like I ain't seen you in 6 months and I'm
Right.
not going to see you for
Another 6, right?
So it's like it just
Which
you're
is going to
spread
be
thin.
nice. And Our next event is going to be nice because it's like an extra hour longer, so it's from 11 to 5.
Okay.
Because the card people are like,
They're morning cats.
yeah,
from what
they
I've
are
heard.
they are
Yes.
very early.
Like
morning
yeah, like
people.
you could honestly probably do your vendor setup at like 8 a.m. and they would be
100%.
very happy
Oh,
about it.
100%.
our vendor setup is at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be there.
So talk a little bit about that. Like how I know that you guys are doing it's like the regular compiled kicks,
Yeah.
sneakers,
Yes.
clothing, all that, the collectibles, but it's also partnered up with Miller Time Collectibles.
Yep.
That's their name, right?
Yes.
I don't want to butcher it. Miller Time Collectibles, and it's going to be like trading cards. And like I'm assuming probably the Pokemon, Magic the
Yes.
Gathering, all that
Yeah.
stuff that kind of falls
Sports
into that tier.
memorabilia, I feel like would be really good for our event as well.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
because look, if somebody's got a off-white Jordan 1, for instance, would you personally rather buy an off-white Jordan 1 or a signed Michael Jordan jersey? Probably the signed Michael Jordan jersey, because that right there is going to hold its value, in my opinion, better than what that shoe is going to.
Yeah, it's shoes are like cars is the best thing that I've ever heard. Is it's going to depreciate, and it's like you can sit here and say, well, what if I don't wear it? Well, I mean, we talked about it with the Yeezys, man. You have to. I mean, you literally said you have to wear the shoe or they're going to fall apart. Yeah. So it's like it's going to depreciate either way, even if you just put it on ice and leave it on the shelf.
Heck, look at the original Off-White Chicago. Literally, if you don't wear it and you leave it in the box with the paper on it, it'll turn yellow.
Yeah,
it'll turn yellow. Like that's not. It's supposed to be a perfectly like whitish blue colored shoe, and like. You're going to take that $6,000 shoe or whatever it is. I don't even know because I haven't paid attention in a long time. But you're going to take that expensive shoe, and now instead of it being a $6,000 shoe, it's going to be a $4,500 shoe because now instead of it being...
Because it looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it's going to be yellow. It's going to be brand new, but it's going to be discolored.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shoes that
they're
are
definitely bringing in... and we met them through Torin. Torin does... They have a podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, we just want to meet, chop it up, see where we could go from here.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely smart to do both of them. Kind of like vintage too.
Yeah.
But vintage, I think vintage the vintage market compared to the shoe market is a night and day difference compared to the card to the shoe people.
Facts.
Because of sports and there's a whole lot more that could go into it compared to old vintage stuff. I still like the idea of vintage and shoes as well too, but the card, it's a whole lot more relatable to the card people.
The collector aspect in cards and shoes is very close, whereas vintage, it's not really. I mean, yes, it's collectible, but it's more like, to me, it's more like art, like an expression of art than it is. Like,
and it's a different
collectible thing. You know what I mean?
Customer base for sure.
That's what I was gonna say. Like from us, like we've done a few vintage events, and I mean we're definitely open to doing more. But what we found was, obviously we started with sneakers. Our sneaker event is structured because it's, I mean, for lack of a better term, what I've always found with the shoe industry, like as far as setting prices for tickets, tables, things of that nature, poor people aren't selling shoes.
Right.
There's no better way to put it. Yep. I mean, I'm sorry, it may not be politically correct, but they just aren't. You're not in this industry where, it's $200. The shoes you got on are literally a couple thousand. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be broke doing this. But the thing about the vintage industry is you can be.
Yep.
Like, you can literally thrift a shirt for cents on the dollar at the bins, Yeah. And I mean, some of and literally sell it for whatever. So what we found was, like, we would try to set the prices similar to Sneaker Beast as far as, like, our tickets, and we couldn't find, like, the right spot because the vintage crowd is kind of expecting a certain thing. And it's like we just couldn't ever find the sweet spot, and that was kind of what kind of pushed us away from the vintage as far as organizing the events, just because it's definitely a different aspect as far as the sneakers.
I think that, like, from what I've seen, a lot of the vintage events are like free to like people coming in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is, I mean, that's different. But for like me, if it's going to be a free entry type of thing, then your tables have to compensate to an extent for that. And
most of the time,
if you've got 5,000 people that show up, that's going to be amazing because you know that you're going to have more vendors in the future.
See, I disagree. Like, the hardest thing for us, like, usually, like, especially as far as, like, the sneaker events go, no vendors, no event is what I've always said. Yeah. You don't have vendors, you have nothing to sell a ticket for.
Yep.
Right.
With the vintage, man, I mean, we charged, I want to say, like $100 for a 10x10 space, and we sold out within 2 days. And I tell you, I beg and plead and post deals, and, like, the sneaker people are just... They are a procrastinating bunch.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
They want to book shit at the last minute. They're going to call you on Saturday night and be lightweight upset that they can't get in. Whenever it's like, bro, I hit you up 3 weeks ago and you said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming," but like you didn't hit me up to lock it in.
Like you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm coming," means what?
Like for
it
us,
doesn't mean anything because there's no security. You didn't send money. Like,
facts.
I'm not gonna hold a table for you not to show up.
And people do
it
else if you'll let them.
Oh yeah, nah. And it's dude, you hit it spot on with
like for us, for instance,
people.
like this event. Okay, total tables I think is going to be 122. Is and we're evenly splitting them up, so it'd be like 66 a
pop,
person, right? So, out of those 66 people or whatever. I don't want to say that we're being picky, but we are definitely
kind of
being
vetting
a little bit more like,
vendors.
okay, so we know that you have good stuff. We know that you have better, like, you know what I mean? You have good cheap stuff. You have good high range stuff. You have whatever. You know what I mean? You can have a little bit more variety, where I think that, like, sometimes we go and try to market to like local business people too, like for like clothing brands and stuff. I don't think this would be a good show for a clothing brand to go to, where I think that again, this will be great for vintage and sneaker people, because that kind of will gel together. You know what I mean?
No facts. I totally know what you mean.
But yeah, we're not going to be like the night before. I have a feeling we're going to be like sold out probably a week, 2 weeks before, because we're going to go.
Because it's
well,
so
that,
we
you
don't want it. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, that, and I mean, you guys kind of have the following up here, you know, and have put on a bunch of events. And I mean, most of them, I want to say that I've been to, you know, it's not like they're 20 table shows. No. Like, you're talking 80 to 100 a pop.
I think the
and
lowest
it's
we've
like,
ever had was like 79.
And see, that's the thing is, like, I mean, we look at it like we've probably turned over vendors 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the guys that we started with, you know, people will get in the industry, they'll get out of it. Maybe they were here for college and went back home. You know, any number of things happen to folks. And so it's one of those, like, the fact that you guys have been able to maintain that, because that's our biggest struggle, honestly, for us these days as vendors. And I mean, it's one of those, I mean, we're blessed to have the guys that we have locked in.
Right.
But, like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, if I could have another, like, 20 or 30 every event, I wouldn't complain at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, for us, we have, like, a really solid group of dudes that show up to every one of our shows.
Yeah.
But we also
I will agree with that.
We also have, like you were saying, like those straggler, like, oh, we've got somebody from, I don't know,
the last minute tap ins.
You know what I mean? They're
shit.
like, I've never heard of you before, but I'm glad that you want to vend, and we can put you in. But like most of the time, once we send a message out to like the people that normally vend, we'll have.
You'll have probably 2/3 of them filled up from J Street just with your, well, we can plot him in, we can plot him in.
Yeah, like of the 60 whatever tables, I guarantee you right now off the top of my head, I could name 20 tables to 30 tables that are already probably spoken for.
I mean, that's the thing with us, like, trying to get sponsors. And, like, you know, we've reached out to other, like, bigger, you know, like your bigger brands, like your big corporations, I guess, rather. But, like, what we found is, like, I like being able to get with, like, the local stores and stuff to where, like, we can get guys that are tapped in. And I can kind of know sight unseen, hey, we're going to have blank pulling up with us before we've even announced that tickets are on sale.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that gives us a little bit of assurance, you know, now that we're traveling so much, to where, like, we can feel comfortable, okay, I'll go to Chicago 5 hours away, even though I really don't know that many people besides just the folks who know us, you know, who've tapped in. But it's not like I have some huge following there or something. Like, I'm just a regular guy, you know?
Very good turnout for you, for sure.
Yeah, we're really excited about that one. That one's, like, Indy's been a long time coming, but honestly, like, I mean, the whole thing that kept us away from Indianapolis and Chicago was there were so many events going on, you know, and I could just name them. Now it's so few, exactly. And not only in Indianapolis, but in Chicago, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, Chicago, literally, last year this time, it would be every other weekend on the north side and on the south side, or one here in Schaumburg, one over here at Donald J. Stevens, but there's going to be 2 events every weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like, we looked at it and we're like, bro, we don't even know where we could fit one in on the calendar, not only for our calendar, but to where it's not stepping on somebody, you know? And it's like, there's no point in doing an event that's just going to be white noise. Like, whenever we can go to Evansville, Indiana, and literally have all 3 news networks come out and they treat us like we're the Rolling Stones whenever we show up, you know? Right. So, like, we would much rather put on there, you know, and give that community a chance where it's like, man, I already know those guys got these other ones covered. But now, like you said, there's a void to where we kind of felt like, man, we can probably slide in now, and, you know, it wouldn't, A, step on anybody, and B, it would be wanted. Right. You know, and that's the thing. Like, we don't want to pull up and do a bullshit event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like for us, we kind of took a hiatus to an extent from events, because like we had talked about it at the end of last year after we did our event, and we're like, you know, like what are we wanting to do this year? Like what's kind of
the goals? You know?
Yeah, like what are we kind of thinking we're planning on doing? And this year, we honestly, I think we maybe had one event, and it wasn't even this event. It just kind of happened. Like But we were like, man, we'll probably throw like one, maybe two. If we throw another one, it'd be like in the like close to December,
Christmas time type deal, yeah, holiday.
We'll throw one around there. But really, we want to focus on the podcast. We want to build our following because we want people to have that recognition of the brand of Compiled Kicks as a whole. So, like, when you see our triangle logo, you know, hey, that's who those people are.
Yep.
Or if we go to an event, we want people to go, hey, man, I watched that episode, and that was awesome. Hey, I watched that clip on YouTube, and, man, that short, that's got like 1,500 views right now.
YouTube smacks for us.
Our YouTube shorts are awesome, bro.
Hey, man, YouTube does show love. Like, videos, and it's so weird platform to platform what does well. And it's like, I've understood, like, where maybe we'll mention someone's Instagram in a video, and it's like, okay, I know that TikTok's not going to prioritize that because it's not like we gave them the TikTok name or whatever. But even just on, like, what you would call kind of like a plain video that you could kind of just put onto whatever platform that's not platform-specific, mentioning an ad or something like that. It's so weird that one video will do 10,000 views over here. It may do 500 on this one. It may do 1,500 here. It may do 100 likes but not any views. It may do hella views but no likes.
Right.
It's just so weird, and there's not really I haven't figured out the sauce to it yet.
Right.
As far as like what prioritizes what.
Yeah.
You know?
What was the weird video that we got like
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, we were talking about Shelton Benjamin in the WWE, and that
bitch went crazy.
And that
Hey,
video
no, stop
itself,
me, no.
ain't no stopping
crazy,
me.
dude.
There's no stop. Yeah. So,
Hey, he's still got it lightweight. Not to, I'm trying to get
No,
you some
you're
juice
good.
here,
He's a
but
savage.
Shelton Benjamin though.
He's a savage.
literally,
No, he's nice. Yeah.
it's such a random video, and like I said, it just kind of came up in like a conversation with us three, just
Naturally.
I thought it was perfect timing.
It was
And-
perfect timing. He was
Perfect
getting a
timing.
lot of love on social media right when
Oh,
we
to where
posted
it's like
that.
he just happened to be in the trend or whatever.
Yeah.
It just so
trending, and
happened.
literally-
Yeah.
Yep.
it just shot off, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's really random, but I mean, cool. That's more people that are watching. And
Speaking of that, like, what's the biggest sneaker news that you guys have heard in like since the last time you guys were on here?
did you see the Olympic fours that they?
I haven't. I've been under a rock, bro.
No.
Literally, they look like they're an all gray suede.
Okay, no, I
Four.
did see these. The Paris Olympics. Yes,
Paris
no.
Olympic four. It is.
Hey,
a
no,
Jordan
they're
4,
nasty.
and it is all. It literally is the cause for.
That's what I was going to say.
Looking
It's
it
like
up.
the poor man calls
I'll
for.
have
It's
to
kind
look
of
it
what
up
I
and
saw.
send Torn the picture so we could pop it up.
No, it's nice though.
The cause. Yeah, the poor man calls for. Is the voodoo actually going to come out? Because
I hope so. That blue voodoo.
Because you sent me a picture of it with a blue box, like a box and stuff. Woo, man, that shoe is insane. Man, the thing is that like, there's not really a whole lot that's going on, and I think it's
kind of ho hum right now. I mean, I think the Travis drop was the last.
yeah,
like,
but
Very excited for
biggest-
the Yellow Boys.
I think that Kanye
See, no,
is going to start
that's
going
incorrect.
to Nike.
Kanye's going what?
You don't like
I think
them?
Kanye's going to Nike. Okay, and the
Oh yeah,
reason
you
why-
can see he posted
listen,
something the
he
other
started-
day.
He started wearing Nike gloves, and then he got caught wearing
Nike
the
shoes or something here
the,
recently. I forget what it was.
V-Lone Air Force One High, friends and family.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I want to say it was something else,
It
bro.
was-
Like there was another picture of him. What? Maybe it was an advertisement.
Then
or
he
something
was
with
wearing-
he was in it that
Then
he was in.
was wearing Travis Scott's new
That's
shoe.
what it was. That's what it was.
For Travis
And
Scott.
I saw him.
and
He's
that,
like sitting on the ground. It's got like the jack on the bottom
Yeah.
of it, like pretty visible.
imagine. So I think Jordan Brand at this point is its own entity outside of Nike.
Yeah.
So could you
As it should be.
imagine Nike not getting Kanye, but Kanye getting his own Jordan instead of getting a Yeezy
His
3?
own Nike.
He would get a
He would essentially go under the Jordan banner instead
he
of the
would
Nike
get like
banner.
an Air Yeezus would be something.
That
Of
would-
Yeah,
that.
essentially kind of what they did, like a signature shoe under the Jordan brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like what they did with this T-Rex or TRX or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Sick.
I mean,
I've seen 3 different
I'm
names
not a
on
fan
that
of those
shoe.
Travis Scott.
The red ones are crap, but honestly, the tan ones,
the
my
other
boy,
ones are cool.
my boy, shout out 89 Stilo, man, had an early pair at our last show and let me see it. And I tell you, man, on foot, like looking at something in the little pictures on the phone versus like seeing it like sitting there is way different shit for me. So like whenever I saw them on his foot, I was like, God damn, I kind of need them. Like I kind of need them to the point.
Those yellow
and
ones.
honestly, if you're gonna buy them, right now's the time.
Right.
Size 13, like $400.
Okay.
Not terrible.
I like
them
because they're like
for real.
chunky. They're like a little bit chunkier shoe. It kind of reminds me of like the Deion Sanders like Diamond Turf to an extent, like the kind of like
thick
that.
Boy.
Yeah, kind of like that era of shoe. And I'm really surprised that they didn't give him another dunk because of how many he wore and like how much like hype he gave the dunk. I'm surprised they didn't give it another one, but
the thing that got me with like the Travis was, I want to say, you know, and you'll see all these little articles and stuff on Instagram or whatever, and who knows what's bullshit and what's not, but they said something, I want to say it was like late last year, it was maybe within the last calendar year. They said Travis is not going to do any more ones after the olive.
Yeah.
And that was the one before this canary. So I've seen the pictures of the canary. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a couple other mock-ups floating around, like a dark mocha or something like that. It's like a newer looking mocha.
Did you see the black? I think it was black olive. Like they were all black.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Green.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. The black olive. No, hey, they're fucking nasty, man.
They're sick.
Like, I mean, it'll be another $1,000 to
You're not going
$2,000
after
shoe.
the yellow boys?
I mean, I'll go after them just because it's a Travis. It's like everybody will, but it's like
I do like them a lot.
I don't wear yellow and I don't wear blue. You know, like
Blue
honestly,
is-
that's what I'll buy some shit like this shoe right here.
Yeah.
It's fucking purple with orange. And you know what? Like I threw it on just because I wanted to have something nice tonight.
Yeah.
But like I don't wear purple. I don't wear orange.
Yeah.
So it's like unless I'm wearing a plain fit like this, what the hell am I gonna wear this with this shoe?
That's true.
I think that like I want a pair of Phantoms really, really bad.
You took
Okay.
words out of my mouth.
And the problem
We
and
waited.
the problem was is I don't care about any other of the Travises, honestly. The only two Travises that I think are my top two are I like the Frag High, okay? Just because I like the way that it looks better than the low. And I like the Phantom. Every other one of the Travis Scotts I don't really care about. Like I don't wear brown. I don't wear really olive. So like, but I wear black all the time and I wear blue all the time. So like
it would go for you. It would just fit. It would fit into your closet effortlessly.
Yeah, literally I could wear it any day, wear it to the mall and not care. I mean, I don't remember the last time I went to the mall to be fair, but same thought process at least.
You ready to get controversial?
What's controversial?
You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Here's my question.
Let's do it.
What's your number one favorite thing about throwing events and your number one biggest pet peeve that you hate the most?
Favorite thing, like honestly, it's like being, especially like with how we do it, you know, you guys are a little bit different because you've got two people that are kind of like quote unquote in the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you guys kind of share the spotlight equally. Whereas like me and Matt's like kind of the silent partner, definitely pulling his weight, doing his thing. But it's like I'm the guy kind of in the mix. Like, you know, if the news comes, they're going to want to talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've just fulfilled that role for us. So like, it's kind of like being Lord of the Flies. Like it's, you know, to where it's like I get to be fucking in the spotlight for the day, like whenever the event's going on. So like selfishly, like it's pretty fucking cool. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, you know, I'd never anticipated on being in this position, bro. Like I was a factory worker. Like I worked my way up to be a little manager or whatever, but it's like I kind of felt like I was pretty locked in on like what I was gonna do, and like I very much lucked into this and happened to have a good idea at the right time and happened to have enough people that saw our vision and fuck with us enough to like allow me to be able to do this, you know? So like I think just like with that in mind, it's one of those deals like I can't be nothing but grateful to those folks, you know, for giving that opportunity. So like being able to engage with everybody, you know, go film content. Like one of you guys mentioned earlier, somebody coming up and saying, "Hey man, I saw that reel," or "I really like that reel with you guys."
Great feeling.
The guys say, "Oh man, I follow you on TikTok," or like the little kid. I say little kids, they're probably like 10 to 15. You know, the younger kids at the event. So like I'll go to the bathroom and I'll have the little mic clipped or whatever to my bag, and I'll be washing my hands, and they'll be like, "Hey, do you do YouTube?" And it's like, you know, they always want to, you know, "Hey, I'm gonna follow you," and I'll be like, "Well, let me follow you back, man." And I know that kid's just like, "Man, he just followed me back." And I'm like, bro, the fact that like I can impact somebody's life like that, that's what it's about, you know? As far as the thing that I hate the most, dealing with just like the nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? And it's one of those, I feel like people treat us a little bit differently than they would like a Sneaker Con or a Got Soul or whoever, because we're not on that level. So it's like they expect a little bit more of like, you know how many people literally just simple stuff, you know? And it's like, I don't mind answering, but it kind of gets old after a while where it's like, hey man, where's the front entrance? It's like, I mean, it's clearly marked like on the page. Like it's one of those, like we literally go out of our way to mark and show everything. Hey, it's at this time. This is going on here. This is where you need to park. This is where you need to come in at.
It
and
almost
it's
feels
like
pointless
the night
on like,
before-
what's the fucking...
or the bugging. Hey man, can you put me a table right up front? And it'd be a dude that bought a table 2 days ago. It's like, you know, we don't even really we do
biggest-
first come first serve for the most part.
I fucking hate that.
But,
so
like-
my least favorite one is the night before. You've already posted. This is what time vendor setup is for the Chicago people. You guys are an hour different. Don't miss the hour change between the time changes.
They're gonna fuck it up.
They're
every
gonna miss
time.
it every time, and then they're gonna ask you what time vendor setup is.
Yeah.
And it's on one page. It's gonna be the same page that you're replying to.
So I don't know if you guys do a lot of like Facebook ads or ever have. So
Yeah.
that's where we do a lot of our advertising because it kind of spreads out to all the different meta platforms. And the one thing that I always get, and it never fails, so they'll click the ad and it'll, you know, it's got the little hi Sneaker Beast, you know, and it'll, like the little automated thing pops up, and they'll be like, when is this event? And it's like the picture is right there in the fucking chat thread
read.
that literally says July 16th or whatever the date is.
Yeah.
And I'll literally just send them the picture again.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, all the information's right here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Fucking
and it's like, bro,
read.
not only will they do it in the DMs, they will do it in the comments of the actual fucking picture of the flyer. And they'll be like, what time is this event?
That would make
and
me
literally
so sick.
one time, so I have to be nice, right? Like I have to be a professional. I can't say like, what are you fucking doing? But the funniest thing was we had a guy who was in the comments doing this one day. What time is it? What date is it? And somebody else commented and like, bro, are you fucking stupid
Yeah,
or are you
read the
lazy? And that's literally what he said. He's like, are you dumb or lazy, bro? Because it's one of the two.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like,
Shout out to you.
no,
brother.
like shout out, bro, because you said what's been on my mind this
Yeah.
whole time.
we have a really bad thing where like it'll show like I don't know if it's how we do our marketing
Oh,
stuff.
I know what he's about to say. I hate this
They
shit, dude.
they show up to all these like old people. Like, oh, this stupid spam.
Oh, my
spam
God.
message.
Some random
Why
old
would I
hick
even be
motherfucker
interested
from
in
New
this?
Hampshire.
Literally.
Fuck Biden or like, bro, why?
Yeah,
Literally, fuck
Joe
Biden on
It's
the
a fucking
profile
like-
or on the, what do they call it? The banner photo, on the
Yeah.
banner photo.
We had one for Zucky Burger or something. I'm like, guys.
What was the one? It wasn't on our post. Usually, for the most part, people are respectful of our actual ads. But the one thing where I found it's like going into the Wild West, like the same as posting the reels in the comments there, is like whenever the news posts some shit.
Yeah.
Because the news, like for example, in Louisville, posted something the last time we were there, and it was something that said sneaker convention. It was like I think ahead of time. It's like sneaker convention coming to Louisville, and this dude commented on there, "You won't see a work boot convention coming to Louisville," and I was thinking, you won't see a fucking redneck minding his own business either, but like go off though, you know what I
yo.
mean? Like dead ass, you know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, this dude's so hurt, you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what I think's funny, because I think it's hilarious. I just laugh, you know, because
Yeah.
like I live out in the country, you know, like I deal with these folks, bro. They're my neighbors. Like I literally, it's not like I live in like a huge you know, like a lot of people, I guess, think I'm probably like live in downtown Louisville right there in the mix.
Right.
No, like I'm out in the sticks. You know, I hear
Yeah.
more banjos than I do anything else. So it's one of them, man. Like it's just, I definitely find the irony of it, like
yeah.
being like just a fish out of water in a different tank, so to speak. Man, it's kind of funny just sometimes.
So
you know,
my biggest complaint, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not pointing anybody out, okay? I'm just saying this, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. And I'm sure it's probably the same one for you too. If you ask for a discount on a table, and then we give you a discount on the table, and then you still find something to cry and bitch about or want something more, I'm not doing it. I'm at this point now where I'm over it.
But here-
if you want a discount and then you're like, "Oh, give me the front," or can I use a dolly, or can I have one of the workers help me? Like, what the fuck else do you want?
all right, so a dolly for me is one thing. I feel like a dolly, not that we should have to provide them, but a dolly is a reasonable thing for someone to inquire about,
We did
right?
that, but
You
they
know?
stole the wagon.
Oh, bro, they stole our wagon
No.
too. No, they stole our wagon in Lexington. Real funny. I'll get into that story here in a minute. But just like dealing with the My fault. What were we talking about? I didn't lost my whole train of
discount
thought.
tables and then still asking for
So,
shit.
like, what do you guys charge for tables? It's not like you're charging $250.
$60.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
How can you need not how can you need a discount, but like, I can understand if the tables were $400. Like, can you work with me at all, bro?
That's-
like, I'm bringing
that's
a
the
bunch of
biggest
heat.
thing right
That's
there.
one thing, but like, we charge. I mean, literally, we do 2 for $100, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we are showing as much love as can be shown.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
We're not
our
sneaker
tables
con.
are fucking almost cheaper than our tickets.
Yeah.
On some tickets, you know what I mean? Literally, to where it's like, I mean, we've incentivized it as much as we can for people that want to buy the tables. But you're right, and it's one of those things. It's always the one guy that you don't want to deal with. You know
Every
what I mean? And I
time.
know exactly who I'm thinking of in my mind.
Yes.
And,
I
you know,
have a
it's-
couple right now.
You know, yeah, to where it's like you always know it's going to be some bullshit.
Yes.
It never fails.
And it's so
I'm getting attacked by this damn whatchamacallit.
Okay, so there is one guy that comes there every single event,
Every
and he
time,
is
bro.
well. There's one that's monster pain in the ass. Okay,
Oh, I know.
asks
Okay,
for
yeah,
everything, wants it done his way, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I have somebody that I say, "Hey, man, we're throwing an event this day." He goes, "Okay, I need 3 tables, 4 tables.
Yeah.
Just put me up towards the front. We'll make it work." He goes, "Do you care if I pay the day up?" Nope, not at all. Because I know, number one, I know you're going to be there.
Yeah.
I know that I know that you've never not
Paid
made
type deal.
it work.
Yeah.
And literally, you're the easiest person. You don't ask for a discount. You just tell me, I need 4 tables and I need them by the front.
Yes.
You tell me what it's going to cost me, and then we call it from there. Where the other guy is, I need
bend over
I need
backwards.
17 tables, and I don't need to be by the bathroom, and put me as far away from the DJ. as
Yeah,
I
no,
can be. It's
literally,
like,
bro. And it's like the shit
damn,
the shit's gonna be bullshit if you don't do it.
Yes.
It's gonna be like, man, these motherfuckers don't know how to run a goddamn event.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
like-
mean? It's gonna be some bullshit.
Well, so back to the shit where we were talking about Chicago, how there was an event or two every weekend.
Mm.
That's how you find out what's going on in the whole convention community, because like you have all these people that just sprouted up out of nowhere throwing events, and then all of a sudden they're not throwing them anymore. I wonder fucking why, because it's not as easy as everyone thinks.
No, and that's the thing. If I had, like, literally, I've probably had, just since we started, probably 15 different people reach out and be like,
Yeah.
hey, man, either I'm trying to get something going with you, like we should do
Same.
something together,
Yep.
Same.
or like, hey, I'm trying to do my own thing, and I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you a few questions. And it's like, my thing is like, do you go to KFC and ask them, how, like, for the 11 herbs
Exactly.
and spices?
Do you ask SneakerCon
You know-
for a discount? Because they're not giving it to you.
I mean, and here's the thing. I think asking's one thing, but it's all about how you conduct yourself. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like, if you have, you know, like, I'm not opposed to somebody asking a legitimate question, but it's one of those things, man, like, you've just got people that want to take advantage.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, whenever you're kind of telling me that my shit ain't worth, like, what I'm selling it for, it's like, why should I try to bend and accommodate?
Well,
it's like
so-
whenever the first thing doesn't go your way, you're going to be out here running your mouth.
Yeah.
We did an event where we had people in 2 rooms, and whenever we did it, they had
Oh fuck.
we had certain people that were in the main room, and certain people that paid last were in the other room.
Yeah.
Okay, so we come to the day of the event. Some of the people that were in the main room didn't show up on time. The people in the other room were there on time and set up. We took carried people's entire tables from
And moved
that
it to the main room.
to the main room.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they didn't do what they're supposed to. They're gonna go over there now.
Facts, literally.
I don't care how many tables they had. They might have had 4 tables. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're all the people that did what they were supposed to are not gonna get penalized by those people.
And see, I'll be honest. Ever since, like, I'm pretty sure I attended that event, or I don't know if y'all did
No,
multiple
you're-
like that.
yeah.
100% you
But
remember.
yeah, I definitely remember one of them. And I'll be honest, I'll never do one of those because of what I saw. Because it's one of those. No matter what you do, people are going to
No.
be pissed.
Yep.
No.
Like the people are, and I remember them. They called it the dungeon. He's like, man, they got us down there in the dungeon today. I remember him. I remember him saying that.
Is
Like,
there was the one dude that we had complaining about anything and everything, literally anything and everything. They sold out their fucking table.
Yeah, they
So,
said you're gonna put us in that other room even though we blah 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 blah.
Got the best stuff.
I
Woo
said,
woo woo.
We said, yeah, you're gonna be over there because you weren't there on time. And he's like, oh well, we told you we weren't gonna be till when blah blah blah. And we said,
And they
okay,
asked for a
well,
discount.
I said, listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you over here. We're going to make the announcement that you're over here, and I guarantee you're gonna sell stuff.
Yep.
Literally 30 minutes later,
Whole table's gone.
their whole table's gone. And I was like, okay, so was that room that bad? Like,
Was it worth the debacle
worth
to
it?
be had?
And his dad's like, oh well, you still didn't do what you were supposed to by putting us in that other room. And I'm like, dog.
It was just one
at
thing
this
after
point,
another.
I looked at him. I said, dude, you sold out of everything you had. You have nothing left. All you
Bro
got is
sold
money.
Prime when Prime
What
was
do you
like
want?
coming out and getting big. Dude sold a whole case of Prime for like triple his money.
Yeah,
and they were
he sold
still-
them for like
yeah.
$10 or $15 a bottle.
And there's people paying it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then same thing with that $60. Like you spend $60, you're like, oh, it's just not worth it to me. And we're like, it's not worth it to you because you don't have enough on your table to make the money that you're trying to make.
Well, and that
Like,
goes
that's
back
not my
into what you
problem.
guys said about like something that we've started doing is like vetting vendors, like actually having a vendor application that you have to fill out
Yeah.
to where like I can go and look and see who you are ahead of time because I mean, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, you got these scamming dudes, you know, who be selling the spreadsheet clothes and all this stuff, or you know, be
We
dealing
take
in
them
fake
fuckers
shoes,
out.
you know, yeah, exactly. And so what we did was instead of having it where because before anybody could just hop online and buy a table to our show,
Yeah.
and it's like then we've got to deal with it on site, which is a lot more of a headache than just
Yeah.
looking ahead of time, you know. And it's like you can kind of tell who's on bullshit and not for the most part
Yeah.
from their account
Yeah.
and the stuff that they post, you know.
We told the raffle people,
Oh,
don't come back.
thank you for bringing that up. So I got an
no, no.
email last night from a one of them vendor game guys. The shit. All right, I'm gonna get a little controversial here. Well, it's a fucking scam, and they literally fucking prey on people. They prey on people that have bad gambling problems, and I know because like I've talked to them. And here's whenever I realized that these dudes are legit fucking scam artists, right? One guy we used to have game vendors before, kind of we were up on game, right? And the guy had hit me up about an event. Or I take it back. I had hit him up and it said, hey, like, you know, do you guys want to come vendor do anything? And he was like, oh, no, man, I don't think we're going to be able to this weekend. We're at the Super Bowl. I don't know if you know how much Super Bowl tickets pop up for. You can pop it up on the screen. Like $5,000 or $6,000 typically.
Yeah.
And his boys were at the Super Bowl, and I'm sure they didn't just buy the cheapest ticket.
No.
Nah, so, I mean, that's whenever I was like, yeah, there's a reason why these dudes are willing to go way the fuck out of their way to do this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I've talked to people who have played these games, and it's like they'll lose fucking $2,000 and $3,000, and I'm like, bro, why didn't you just quit whenever you were down $200?
No
He's
shit.
like, man, I'm in too deep. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, God damn, like I, you know, not that I would go do it, but like I kind of understand, like
Yeah.
especially if you've got that kind of compulsive thought process.
Yeah.
Like they already got their hooks in you for 200,
They
bro.
won't even allow us to have them.
Yeah, he
He's
said
like,
if
it's
you,
illegal.
he's like if you have that here, he goes, number one, I will kick them out, and number two, I will never do your security again. I will leave on site.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like as his job, he's like a professional like police officer or like investigator or some shit.
Okay.
So like it could be like his job, like he could get in trouble.
Oh
for
yeah.
doing that. So
Well, I mean, so funny thing that you guys mentioned the game vendor. So like I said, we banned that literally years ago. So there's this kid. It was literally our last show in Evansville. Shows up. I recognized him. He's vended with us before, but we're not really on like a first name basis or anything.
Right.
I'm not going to say who it is. But the kid, he had grabbed 2 tables, and we were in the process of kind of moving and grooving, like scooting tables around to kind of fit people who needed some together and stuff. And he said, hey, man, I'm not going to need this table here in a second. He's like, I got my own table I'm bringing in. And I was like, okay, you know, I mean, if you got something you want to, you know, sometimes they have a little smaller table that like works for their setup, whatever.
yeah.
So this guy goes out to his car, comes back, and brings a whole fucking poker table. Literally, and tries to set up. So I didn't see it at first. I was in the back doing some other stuff. I come out and see this thing. I'm like, no fucking way. He's literally got a marker board, and he's writing on it poker, and he's like the $1 chips, the $5 chips, like the different chip denominations, and legitimately was trying to set up a whole poker game. We're talking the round, like oval, like football shape, like little poker table with the little cup holders and fucking everything in it. And I was like, bro, I should have took a picture of it. I didn't think to, because I've never seen anything like it. It's definitely the craziest thing I've ever seen someone try to bring it to an event. A whole poker table. And he had little stools, like had little seats for it to where, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? And he's like, oh man, just, getting ready to set up my game. I'm like, this is like illegal, right? Like there's a reason why casinos like have to be in certain places and operate and like pay taxes and like all the different things that goes into like gambling, like that's a whole controlled industry. Like and this cat's just trying to set it up right here. Yeah, I was fucking bewildered. I couldn't believe it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
We had I think our second event they were dice, gambling dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've found that like they don't really do that in the open. That'd be some shit, kind of two dudes or a couple dudes sitting behind the table in the cut type thing.
Oh no, there was a whole table that got sold out, and they were doing it on the front table.
Oh my god! Oh, shooting on the table.
Yeah, they sold their table out and literally were shooting dice with people on the table. And we're like,
losing hundreds of dollars.
We haven't really had anything like crazier than like the just little random interactions between people, and then like the poker table thing was jokes. That was jokes. Yeah, it was actually kind of funny looking back at it. Like once we dealt with it, but I was just like, bro, he really thought he was going to do that. Like it didn't question, like he didn't have a thought about it. He was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to do this right now.
Did you tell him to take it now?
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. What? Yeah, no, and literally the people next to me are like, yeah, that's illegal. To where like you could tell they wasn't fucking with it either. You know what I mean? Oh, we could. Oh, absolutely, because we're allowing that. I mean, I've seen, not at our event, but like at other events, I mean, I've seen people doing drugs in events. Like, and I'm not talking like smoking weed. I'm talking like dudes like smoking doobies and shit inside of a closed building, like inside of a convention center.
Your vape, I understand your vape.
Yeah, type shit. But no, I'm talking smoking doobies and
in the building.
In the building. I'm not gonna say where I saw it or whose event it was because I'm not trying to like do that to nobody. But yeah, man. I mean, I've seen crazy stuff happening. Like, and we're not talking outside of the event. That's whatever. That's public. You can't control that.
Oh, I know,
but I'm
I'm
talking inside of an actual show. You know what I mean? You probably don't know who it is because this was something that happened about 10 hours from here. So unless you know some people up in the Northeast, yeah.
We know some people in the Northeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm smelling what you're selling, buddy. I'm smelling what you're selling.
That's...
Guys, so can we talk about this a little bit? Like, I guess I'm not super familiar.
Okay. Have you not seen that shoe before? That guy?
I want to say yes. Like, did you wear him at an event once, maybe?
No.
Then I don't think I've seen it.
He had them signed by the person that made them at our event.
Yeah. So I bought them at, I don't even remember one of the event I bought them at, but I bought them, and then the next time they came back in, and it's just some dude from Chicago. And I was like, oh, like this shoe is insanely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do some Off-White vibes. Like, let's do some fucking writing from the owner.
No, it's sick. I love it.
Yeah. And of course, like, I'll be an asshole and say, if you don't support autism awareness, fuck you. Like, so.
Literally eat a fucking dick.
Yeah. So, like, with him going out of his way and doing something like this and putting those two together, I was like, dude, I'm supporting this guy for sure.
It's like, yeah, you're already in it on the shoe tip. And then it's like, let's just double down on something that I'm actually really. I'm like actively, trying to push.
It was pretty cool.
He has
seeing someone do something like that. So, and
he has like a couple of different versions of those shoes too. Yeah. Like he's got one that's like for suicide awareness. He's got one that was for breast cancer. He like his thing was that like every month has its own awareness for that month. So he was trying to hit every major awareness per month and do like a release of a shoe. And then clothing that matched that shoe with each like thing. Yeah. Like he would do like a Nike Tech fleece style like jumpsuit.
Okay, and
that would match the shoe.
Okay,
every month.
No, that's sick.
So, and I think that he was really releasing them like every like 3 months or 2 to 3 months or whatever. So he'd get like this version solidified and then he'd do it. And then he would do like one that would be in August and then he would do that one. Then he would do the one that's in like December, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he would try to hit them like as they went or whatever, but it was a pretty cool idea.
No, it's sick.
He's from Chicago.
Oh, say less. Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't, dude, now that I haven't seen him post anything in a while.
But I think that's about it, honestly. I want you, if you can, I want you to shout out all your social medias one more time. I want you to tell them about all the events coming
Where
up,
to find you?
all the stuff that you're doing, where they can see you, where they.
Okay, absolutely, guys.
I mean, if you want to shout
I
your
will-
OnlyFans out, you can.
Yeah, I will give it the full plug because your boy's about his paper. So
He said, "Let me pull this paper out, and I'll tell you where I'm at."
where am I looking at here?
All of it.
Yeah.
So first would be Instagram at Sneaker Beast, Facebook Sneaker Beast Events, TikTok at Sneaker Beast, YouTube at Sneaker Beast, and mostly at Sneaker Beast on all platforms. We've got a bunch of awesome shows coming your guys' way right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, this Sunday, 5/19. Going to be an absolute banger, open 11 to 5 there. Then we've got 4 more events actually already announced and posted. We've got, after Indy, we've got 6/1. That's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. Really great. That's probably one of our best shows, pound for pound, that we do is Cincy. Yeah, Cincy really goes crazy for us every time we come, man. I'm super grateful for all the support in general, but I mean, that market's been incredible for us. So super excited to get back there. Then we've got June 9th. That's going to be Louisville, Kentucky. At home,
Back home.
you know,
Roots.
say less, you know, got to do it for the hometown. Then we're taking a couple weeks off, and then we've got the Chicago event that you alluded to earlier. That's going to be Saturday, July 29th. Switching it up. We usually do Sundays, but kind of felt like a Saturday for that one. And then the week later, we're going to do right after July 4th, we're doing July 6th in Atlanta.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's going to be a great one there. And we've got a bunch of other stuff cooking, man. Like, it's not done. So, I mean, we're only halfway through the year. We're trying to do, I think 25 was the goal this year, like 2 events a month, basically, plus an event, you know, to be like, all right, like we ran it up. So we're well on our way there now. I think after that run, it'll be like 12 or 13 for the year so far. I'd have to go back and look at the calendar. Yeah, so right around half the year. So we are on pace, man. I'm super grateful for all the support, man. Thank you guys for having me on today and letting me come talk shit with you guys for a little bit, man.
Literally talk shit.
Literally, apparently. Yeah, we love our supporters, guys, but sometimes this shit gets on our nerves, man. So
sometimes you got to air out your grievances.
No, for sure.
no, this felt like a therapy session, literally more than a podcast. Like this is like, because very rarely do I get to talk to somebody where it's like, you know, my exact struggles. It's not like me trying to tell my girl about it and she's like, "Oh, honey, that sucks." It's like, but you don't get it. You ain't out here in the DMs, in the trenches, you know, in the fucking Facebook ad threads. You know what I mean?
Is like, sorry guys, this is just how it is.
Fuck
like,
all of them. That's what I say.
Like, you can't get mad
Fuck
at
every
us for
single
talking
one of
about it
them.
because like we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't.
If it didn't happen, bro, we live it. Yeah.
So listen, if you just listen to this entire podcast, I would
You
love
know what
I would
not
love
to
a
do.
1-page essay as to what we're gonna do to make our fucking events better on your guys' terms, not from us.
On their part.
On their part. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to make it better.
Clean up your act, you fucking vendors.
But I need you guys to tell me what you're gonna do to make it better. Cause if you smell
what compiled
is cooking.
Facts. That's a fire one. That's a mic drop right there.
Wow.
Boom.
I got nothing else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're supposed to say, "See you."
See ya. See ya.
See ya.